This recording is going to show how to use a combo box instead of these three buttons here. So the first thing that we're going to do is remove these three buttons, and we're going to add in our combo box. So I'm going to go here to Components under Window, and here is our combo box that we can drag out and add to the stage. And if you want, you can resize this and make it bigger or smaller to fit what you'd like. So we'd also need an instance name for this combo box, and so I'm just going to call it Combo Box. And the combo box is essentially just a drop down. It allows people to select items from a drop down. So now we're going to write some code for it, and the first thing that we're going to do in terms of writing the code is to give some options to the combo box. So before I actually do that, what I'm going to do here is for our navigation buttons, I'm just going to comment these out so they don't throw any errors, because now that we have gotten rid of those buttons, they would have errors. And then here we're going to add items to the combo box. So in order to do that, we do combo box add item. And then when we're adding our item here, we need to add it as an object. And so there's actually a shorthand way to make an object. Instead of having to make a variable that's type object and giving it properties, we can use the curly braces. Much like the shorthand way of making an array, we can use the square brackets. Then we're going to give it with property : value, like this. So the property we need is label, and the value is going to be whatever values we want to show in the combo box. So I'm going to do introduction as 1, and then we'll do another one here, 2 more. So question, answer, and dynamic. So if we run it now, we should get a combo box with those 3 items in it. And there we go. So that's our little drop down, and it has those different items in it. Now the next code we want to do is add an event listener, so we know when we did something to the combo box and selected it. And we can't add an event listener for each individual one, we just add it to the combo box in general. And so we're going to do an add event listener. And actually, before I finish typing that, what you also should have, and I don't know if I included this in the start code I gave you, is that we want to have an import for the event. So we could actually have it as the generic event. That's what we're going to use now. But another way to do it is to use the asterisk here, that imports all the event types. That way, if you want to add an event, mouse event, keyboard event, you don't have to keep remembering to go and do your imports. So make sure that's in place first, and that way here, when we add an event listener, and then you do event dot, it'll give you some options. And the one we want is change, so when the combo box changes. So on combo change. Okay. So we're going to change our combo box. So here, we're going to add another function in there for that event handler on combo change E, and that's just type of event. And then what we need to do is figure out which one was selected. And what we do is use an if statement for that. So we're going to say if combo box dot selected label. So remember when we added our things here, we added labels in and gave them a name, and so that's what we do. And we're going to check to see if they're equal to what we wrote up here. So if it's equal to introduction, then we want to show the introduction one. Now you notice on here, if we look at our previous event handlers, all of them removed all screens first and then showed a screen. So I'm going to take that remove all screens, and I'm actually going to put that in front of my if statement, so we know we're going to do that regardless, and then it's just which screen to show. So introduction, we would just copy that here, our show intro from on-click intro, and paste it there. Then we do an else, and we're going to copy this if again here. This time, select the label, we're looking for question and answer. So these have to be exactly the same as the labels that you put up there. Alright, and if that's true, then we're going to look for the show the screen for question. There we go. And then we do another else if here. Copy and paste. And the last one was dynamic. Right, and for dynamic we used show screen dynamics. And now you see why it's nice to have these functions that show the screens instead of hard coding it into the event handler, because if we want to change things up, it's a lot easier to change now. So let's save that and take it for a run. So now I can go to question and answer and dynamic, and there we go. So it's a nice quick way to add a ComboBox navigation if that's what you need or want instead of the other one.